collective. I wonder what this energy is going to be like today. Yo, you. Irene. We just starting, homie. Ain't nothing going on just yet. We were waiting for you to get here. I had such a good day. Did you have a good day, Irene? I had a fucking wicked day. I just got some really awesome news. Got your back, Jack. I had a margarita today. Cheers. Oh, yeah. Good. How is Courtney? Courtney is good. Just applying for jobs as usual. If anybody in the chat or if anybody watches this knows anything about how to get people jobs, my sister really needs a job. So I'm just going to send that out into the universe. She's just busting her ass like usual, trying to fucking get shit done. My poor fucking sister. Ooh, we got some spicy energy up in here. Can you believe we got Mars landed with Venus? Oh, man, she took the car yesterday and went by his property and like did some shit. So I'm hoping some things turn around for her, Irene. She's really working hard. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for my sister. All right, drive. Second house. I'm really sorry if this is scratchy. I don't have my mic, and sometimes it turns out kind of like alien encrypted videos. So if it's like screechy and shit, I'm really sorry. I had microphones in the mail today, and they didn't get delivered. So microphones will be here tomorrow. So if the sound is shit, my apologies. I'm hoping this is the last day that this fucking shit happens. I've had such bad luck with microphones. Ooh, okay. The second house is Taurus, which we know is right beside Aries. So Aries comes in. Emperor. Driving your self-worth forward? Or maybe something is going to come to the collective that's going to help drive you forward. Like I heard the witch and the warlock. So that would be like a pair, like a almost like possibly an energy that could be working with you. It could be an energy that is going to help drive you forward. Like the warlock is going to drive you forward. The warlock would be the energy of Aries or the energy of Taurus. Loving it. Oh my gosh. Better than the last one. Oh, are you talking about the volume? Loving it. Yeah, that was my microphone. And like, I didn't do anything to it. I don't know why it sounded like that. I haven't watched the last few lives, so I have no idea what it sounded like. I am probably part alien too. We're all part demon, part alien. Extraterrestrial. Okay, I totally got your email. And now I know what a gong is. I really thought you meant to say bong, obviously. But I know what a gong is. That dung. I probably should get something like that. Yes, well, I had a feeling you were talking about the volume. Oh my god, it was fucking awful. I hope you made it through it okay. I just turned it down. I'm used to my voice being fucked up on my phone, so I just adjust the volume. But I know it sounded awful. My apologies. I'm so fucking sick of this mic. Like I'm actually awful that they even sell it as a microphone because they shouldn't. It's awful. And I spent my money on it, so fuck that company, right? Fucking idiots. Okay, so you know what the song I was getting is by 50 Cent, and it's called I'm the Man. Oh no, hate Aries. And I can still hear it. Okay, so from the looks of it, the collective has been working to expose somebody who has had the ability to go under the radar, right? There are a lot of monsters out there that just fly under the radar. You can't catch them as hard as you try. They're like unstoppable to catch. Okay. And I feel like you have spent a lot of time, like something was this, there's a change of events happening, okay? Or like a course change. I just heard a reroute or a reboot or a restart, okay? That is so hidden. I don't know if the collective will ever fully be able to see it. Like, not only is the gaslight turned off, okay, so you don't know, but it's also camouflaged. So you couldn't see this tornado coming if you tried. And that's the thing, you know, my sister was driving today. I had to go and get a couple things and she said she would drive. So I was closing my eyes in the car, and usually I don't like to do that. And the reason why I don't like to close my eyes in the car is because I always want to see what's coming. I'm a victim of very awful things, and I never saw it coming. So I'm the kind of person I need to see what's coming. I need to keep my eyes open. I need to know if you know, my sister's gonna fucking hit somebody, or if somebody comes out of nowhere and crashes us. Like, it's very hard for me to relax in the passenger seat. Okay, and that's just a lot of trauma. That's just surviving trauma and living through trauma, and then complex trauma, and then a little bit more PTSD on top of that trauma. And it's just stacked up from years and years and years of like bullshit, right? And I finally closed my eyes today, and my immediate reaction to myself was, well, you better open up your eyes or you're never going to see what's coming. And I said to myself, this is the first time I ever said this to myself, you know what? I don't want to see what's coming. And then something kind of left me alone. Like, when you're schizophrenic, or when you hear voices, or when you hear voices in your head, or it's your voice that's fucking with you or something, the best thing to do is start almost to challenge it. Is challenge the voice that tells you that you don't do things, or that you're scared of something. Challenge that voice, because sometimes that voice is the little you inside, right? That is scared and doesn't want to do something because you're in fear that you're going to get hurt, right? Like you did before, right? And another sense of it is like, almost like, why try if you really don't think it's going to work out? But you're only fearing that it's not going to work out, I think, because once it works out, you are going to move forward, and that is scary as well. So there's a lot of fear that's involved with this moving forward. And to be honest, the energy is so strong. Okay, I just heard the energy is strong with this one. So, you know, when they say, may the force be with you, right? And I hear that the force is strong. So the force is strong with you, okay? You know what you're doing. This is brand new energy. Honestly, I'm getting 2 and 2. Like, Aries with Mars is so incredibly powerful, okay? And then with the second house being Taurus, it's like it's lined up to go horns first, you know, like I can see 2 like rams going at one another. Like, really, if you are going to challenge me at this point moving forward, then you better get your fucking helmet out. You know, you better get your fighting gear out, because now it's like the collective is going to move, and it's not whether or not people get out of the way. It's you either get out of the way or you get hurt, right? And now I'm getting that part of Batman, Dark Knight Rises, when it's like Bane has the streets locked down, and all the cops are starting to approach, and they've got the Bane and his crew, you know, I forget what they're called, his posse's called, but like they have Batman's like greatest vehicle attack mode army vehicles, and they want to demolish the cops with these bullets, and the cops they're coming towards these people whether they want it or not, right? And that's how I'm kind of feeling. It's like you're moving forward now, and you don't care if the people even standing in front of you have nuclear warheads attached to their fucking foreheads, okay? As of this point, it's like you either move or you're going to get hurt. And actually, this is really weird, because the last couple of nights, Spirit has been wanting me to watch this movie called Pacific Rim, okay? It has Charlie Hunnam in it, and that big, huge guy that they're both in Sons of Anarchy. And I forget his name, but anyways, great guy. And they're about these Cayuse, these giant, I thought it was a Transformers movie, but it is not. It is like these Cayuse, these big giant machines are like destroying the earth. So the people on Earth have to create these robots to fight back, but a human has to control them. But not just one human, two humans have to get into this thing to control it. And these humans bond together. It's almost like Pacific Rim is like Transformers meets Avatar. It's really fucking weird. That's all I could say, was like, because they have to stay connected, but yet it's robotic. But they don't really transform, but they can go in water and they're built. Anyways, it doesn't matter. But still, I've been getting this movie to watch, and like I've been slowly watching it, and I'm just kind of like tired of it by now, because I'm just like, I'm watching it on my phone, and it's such a big movie that it should not be watched on your phone, because I can't see fucking half the shit that's even going on because it's so small. But that movie is like coming back to me again, because it's almost like they could put a fucking Caillou in front of you. They could put the biggest, most destroying fucking object known to man, and you're just gonna walk through it. It's like it's so cocky, right? But it's cocky on a level of, you've now got this like thing that most people want and they can't have, so they try to take it from you. And over the years, I'm sure they have been taking it from you. So you've been put in this like almost like kind of like a held back, because you're going to go up against things, and you don't have your armor. You don't have anything, because the collective keeps taking it from you, or people around you keep taking it from you, right? So now you get to go face to face with this like almost Cerberus kind of energy of like the three-headed dog, you know, that's standing in front of you, because he's standing at the gates and he's making sure that nobody crosses. But the thing is that people do get to cross, but you have to battle it out. And that's anything that's leveling up. That's opening your third eye. That's having your own opinion. You have to level up. You have to challenge people. You have to fight for what you believe in, because if you don't, then you're just showing people that you're just like everybody else, and you're ready to be robotically fucking brainwashed into believing whatever fucking consumerism commercial tells you to go and believe in, right? Like, you have to take your bull by the horns to ride it forward, because if you mistake this energy for another energy and you ride that shit forward, you might fuck up your whole life. And from the looks of it, this energy is so powerful that it can corrupt you. Okay, it can turn you sour. There are people out there that say money would never change them and status could never change them, and all of a sudden a status comes into their life and they're a fucking different person the next day. Jekyll, then Hyde. You know, like, which one are you gonna fucking be today? Because you told me I could trust you. Now all of a sudden you're a different person because the universe gave you a little bit of fucking power through a name change. right? Or a status quo or some type of fucking certificate, right? Like, so there's definitely something that is like, the world is it moves its soldiers forward when it's fucking ready to, and it doesn't matter what the collective has to say. Guess what? People have fought for these positions. They have bled for these positions. You have ostracized yourself to get this position. You have told people off to get this position. You have been the person that nobody likes to get this position because you've shown the universe that it's not about popularity. Who gives a fuck about popularity? It's not about how many people like you. It's, do they agree or disagree with you? Are you doing something that's right? Are you doing something that's fucking wrong and you know it, right? It really is all about kind of like, I feel like now when the universe pushes these people forward, everybody has to adapt whether they want to or not. And that's a good energy to ride, because it is going to stir the pot and it is going to piss people off, and you are going to see people's true colors. Right? That's the whole moral of the story, because there are people around you that do not deserve to be in your energy, and they're hiding their true colors from you, and you think they're one person and they're not. They're a completely different person, right? They are nothing like the way that they are when they're with you, with other people, right? So there is this like massive chain of events that I feel like is happening, and it's covered. You couldn't see this if you tried, because the universe doesn't want to. It's like my analogy today. Close your eyes in the passenger seat when somebody else is driving, and tell the universe, you know what? For once, I don't want to see what's coming. Because even with your eyes open, there is so much coming at you that how can you even notice it all? Right? You can pick up bits and pieces. I mean, you're not fucking blind, but when you're in your life and your eyes are open and you're living and you're in 3D and you're fucking dodging bullets and trying to fucking, just get to work, how much are you really supposed to pay attention to objectively around you? Like, it's really hard. Like, I mean, we're all talented, but we're not that fucking talented, okay? And you can say, like, listen, I can do things, but I can't do everything. Like, because people have the ability to do stuff, but they can't see everything. Like me, I can't see everything. I just ask, hey, what's the energy? And this is what they tell me, right? I don't know what this chain of events. I keep saying chain of events. Like, there is a chain of events coming. Ooh. Okay. So this is a lot of like, this is a contract, all right? What's the chain of events? Realizing the truth. That was the first thing you had to do, okay? The first thing you had to do was recognize the truth and the power behind truth, okay? No more lying, no more white lies, no more cheating things. Just fucking tell the truth. I mean, honestly, if you don't like yourself that much, then sure, lie about everything. But if you actually genuinely respect yourself, then respect the opinion of others and let people know who you truly are. I mean, there's no point in hiding, right? Like, who hides who they are? I mean, you only hide who you are if you really don't like yourself. I have a feeling you like yourself, okay? So the first thing was, dude, look in the fucking mirror. Okay, make sure that you're telling yourself the truth, and then you had to go through a bunch of shit. And what I mean by a bunch of shit is you got put in a position where you're going to start judging how people's lives turn out. Okay, I think that's what's happening. This is the level up. And people get to level up, like I bet you a whole bunch of people just died, and a whole bunch of people leveled up to, they don't have to judge people anymore. They just get to live their life and fucking be retired, right? So I think that this part of the collective is getting into the judges' positions, okay? And you're in a judge position now if the last like 30, 40, fucking 50 years has been nothing but you bent over for taking shit. And I mean, like, you had to go through everything. You had to go through betrayal, backstabbing, attempted murder, if not murder, right? Things around you that were happening that you got to expose people, and you also had to go through things. So then when you got to the judge's position, you know how to judge the worthy that are in front of you and the guilty that also stand in front of you, right? Because you have to be able to stand non-biased to these fucking things. Like, you can't just be like, well, I've been through that, so I know what it's like. Well, okay, yes, but also you have to be the victim to a lot of these crimes. So then you know that, okay, you've been around a lot of good people that can get put on the wrong track, but now you're the victim of that person getting put on the wrong track, even though you guys went down the same tracks your whole life. Well, guess what? He jumped a track and went down a road that you didn't. Now you've got to see what just happened. So then you, when you're in the judge's seat and you look your friend, your ex-friend face to face who just fucking did something that they weren't supposed to do, and you go, yeah, I was the victim of that, and I'm not going to fucking play into you, right? Like, these people they are going to come to you and they're going to want forgiveness. They're going to want you to accept their apology. And when you don't accept their apology, they're going to get angry. They're going to say how hard they worked on themselves. They're going to say how hard they tried. And you're going to stand there and go, if you tried that hard, if you truly, honestly fucking changed, then you shouldn't be standing in front of me screaming about how much you've changed. Because guess what? If you change that much, this is a pattern repeating itself once again in a narcissistic way. Okay, stop telling me how much you've changed and be the fucking change that you claim to be, right? There's a lot of shit now where you've had to really go face to face with cowards and not be the coward. Like, this guy, you know, I keep saying, be the advocate. If you see something, say something. This guy was like in my neighbor's backyard trying to unchain his bike. And I yelled at the window using the most manly voice I could possibly think of. And I was like, hey, is that your bike? And he was like, yeah, actually it is. And I'm like, okay, just making sure. And then he stopped fucking with the bike. He knocked on the neighbor's house again. They're not home. So he left. And I was like, I don't care if that is his bike. Why are you fucking taking it when I can see if there's a chain on it and you don't have the lock? Like, you don't have the key. Like, I'm not just going to watch somebody. Like, you can say it's your bike all you want. Why are you taking it when my neighbor's not home? Like, if it was yours, okay, I get it. Then why are you struggling with the chain? Like, you have to be what you say. And if you want to see a change, you have to show that change before you expect to see it, right? There are things that you have to do as respect to you. Like, that's the thing, is like, this one woman was talking about how, this barber shop has this thing put up saying that if you're in scrubby clothes and you got your bonnet on and you got your slippers on, you're not to come into this establishment. And this lady was like, I don't care like who you are. No, you shouldn't be going out in your pajamas and your fucking bonnet. But no, you also shouldn't be going out to claim something that you are to the rest of the world. How about you just do it because you respect yourself? How about you brush your hair and fucking floss your mouth and, I don't know, maybe shave your fucking pits every now and then, because you respect your body, because you respect yourself. It's not because society's telling you to do it and people tell you got to take a shower. It's how about you smell and you need to do something about it. So that's how you walk the walk, instead of try talking something and never actually moving it with you, but saying you're going to do it, but never actually doing it. Because you say you do it, then that gives people an advantage that they keep saying they're going to do it. So then people leave them alone. But saying you're going to do something is just delaying the inevitable of something you're never planning on doing, right? So you had to, your head tells you you're not going to do something. You say, fuck it, I'm doing it anyways. I told myself I was going to do this. I said I was going to do this, and I'm not going to be a coward to myself. I'm not going to be a liar to myself. I'm not going to disrespect myself because I say I'm allowed to do whatever I want to myself. Of course you are. Just like you're allowed to do whatever you want to everybody else. But there are laws that you break with yourself. There are laws that you break with other people. Sure, you can do whatever you want, but I'm sick of these people saying they can do whatever they want, and then they lack tremendously in their life because they're doing what they want. Well, are you really doing what you want? Because I think that if you really wanted to do what you want, you wouldn't hate your life so much. You wouldn't hate your fucking partner so much. You wouldn't be in a dead end all the time if you really loved your life, if you really loved yourself. right? So there's a lot of like, he said, she said, but is he said, she said actually doing what they're saying? Most likely not. So you have to start doing everything that you say. And clearly the universe is like, yo, she's actually doing what she's saying. There might be a few things here and there that you say you're going to do, and then you kind of like lapse on it a little bit. But guess what? We all have 9-to-5s. We all bust it. Some of us have kids. Some of us have sex lives. Some of us have lives in general. And we can't do everything that we try to tell ourselves to do every day because we're fucking in life and we're not perfect. Right? So the second you realize, okay, yeah, humans are not perfect. They make a lot of mistakes. Are you going to judge this person on the mistakes that they made, or are you going to judge them on how they've made those mistakes right and they've changed things? And they're not saying they're changing it. I can fucking see the change. I don't want to hear about these changes in people. I need to see it, because words are just words. I mean, it's how we communicate. I'm learning actually how to non-verbally communicate with a lot of jobs that I do now, because there is no fucking reason for me to be speaking as much as I am, right? Like, we can use hand signals and figure it out, right? But there's this sense of like, you have to, if you're going to stop the bullshit, okay, and you're going to get placed in a way better position, then even your mind and what you're saying has to line up with what you're doing, because the mind is something that a lot of things can hear, and a lot of your ancestors can hear that shit that you're saying, and a lot of them can fucking, they know that you're bullshitting yourself, and they know that what you're saying to yourself is a lie, and they will do what they can do to correct you at a level that you can handle it. This is kind of one of those things that it's going to shoot a lot of people forward, but it's like, honestly, it's like getting into 75-degree water on a 90-degree day. All right, you're going to get in there and it's going to be a shock. You're going to be like, damn, that shit's fucking cold. My skin is way too hot for this. But then you get swimming around and your body cools down or warms up, depending on how you're doing this, right? And then you're like, all right, I can handle this. This is actually the best fucking temperature for the day. 75, awesome. It's actually cooling me down. You can't have that shit in the 80s or you're never going to cool down. Okay? So it's like, you have to, like, it will be a shock, but everything is a shock when it happens, because it's just the way life goes. Okay? If you're not shocked on a daily basis about something, then I would suggest elevating your life a little bit, because something should shock you at least once a day. And I'm not talking like an electric shock. I'm talking like, wow, that, like, I saw this lake today. It happened so fast, I couldn't even tell my sister. She was right beside me. And we grew up in this town called Oshawa. We drove through it today. We took this really weird road that we don't usually take through town. And there's a fucking lake all of a sudden in like the middle of the city. And I didn't even get to speak because it was the bush wasn't filled, right? So I could see through the trees. And I don't know how long that lake has been there. It's just like, it's not really a lake. It's more like, I don't know, just like a swamp almost, like a small body of water. But it's still like, I lived here for 25 years. I've been down this road a million times. I never saw that, but because I was never looking. Right? Like, it's a weird stretch of road and you're kind of like going down a hill and then you got to go up a hill and it's always really full of traffic. So I'm always driving. So I'm looking at the fucking road. I'm not looking at the side of the road. Right? But because she was driving, I was like, okay, I can look around and there's a fucking mini lake. Like, what the fuck? Right? Like, some things, like, they'll come out and they'll get you and they'll shock you and you have no idea where it comes from. But it's like so magical and so amazing that you're like, all right, well, you know what? Let's just keep moving on with the day. Right? Like, you've obviously had things that have happened that have elevated you to a point where whatever this event that's going to come out, it's still we're still going down the block here. Okay, the next one is cassette. So the next thing that you had to do along this chain of events is get rid of your outdated thinking, which surprisingly we have been talking about over the last couple of weeks, is getting rid of these old fucking paradigms in your head and what your mom and your dad and your grandma used to say. Like, fucking times have changed, bitch. People do get divorced now. People do walk out on their families. They do fucking say no. They do stand up for themselves. They don't take bosses that abuse them. They do stand up for a bigger pay. away for a shitty job. Like, you know, people do make moves now because it's 2024, grandma. It's not 1948. I know that you still think it is because that's where your fucking frame of mind is, but guess what? You got to get here where we are now. Because if you got into your car and you tried to drive to the fucking, you know, corner store where you used to go, I can guarantee you'd almost shit your pants because life is going a lot faster than 20 miles an hour like it used to. Okay, cars never even had lights on them in the beginning. Okay, people just drove around in the dark, right? True fucking story. Sometimes they just put flashlights out the fucking window, right? Like, our world has changed. It's evolved. Could you imagine if Chrysler was like, well, we're not going to put lights on our car because we're going to hang out with how they did it in 1935? Like, no, you got to elevate that thinking. So you had to get rid of this outdated thinking and get on your own path. And your own path is now connected to things that you're listening to, right, that are showing you the future and not dragging you behind and telling you that nothing changes. Are you fucking kidding me? Everything has changed. People should be changing. You know what's wrong with my parents? It's not that I keep changing. It's the fact that they stay the same. Everything they do is the same. I'm evolving. I'm elevating. I'm growing. I'm learning. And they're just like, meatloaf tonight, honey? And then we'll turn on the fucking Wheel of Fortune and we'll just live it like it's 1959. Like, fucking grow up, right? Get into now. So clearly you did that. Congratulations. So now we move to the very end card, which is meeting somebody new, getting back out there and planning a date. Okay, so that took a turn. I didn't really realize this was gonna be the end of the journey. Like, what the fuck? Okay. It also kind of was in reverse, so I do kind of feel like, you know, you might have had to take a period of solitude by yourself. Okay, might not have been sleeping with anybody or kissing up on anybody. Okay, and just kind of doing the old singles wave. And that was so then you stopped seeing people in relationships as powerful, right? Because just because you're in a relationship, it doesn't make you powerful. It doesn't make you, well, because you're Mrs. or you're Mr., your status, right? When you put a Mr. or a Mrs. in front of your name, you're just identifying that you're married to somebody. Right? Why is it that if you don't have a Mrs. or a fucking wedding ring on your finger, people put you in a different category? Like, that's bullshit. You need to see everybody as equal. And if somebody happens to have a partner, then I think it's more or less kind of like, well, that's good for them. You know, like, congratulations, you found somebody that hasn't killed you yet. You found somebody that might support you. Awesome. But you still stand as yourself no matter what, as an independent person, right? And I'm sick of people, because they've got relationships, they slowly depend on that relationship and they think they can do whatever they want. Right? Because their husband's there to save them. And it's like, you know, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if, and this would be the best revenge possible, is if some of these people come around from your past, right? And I'm not talking that you might know these people, but you might get somebody that kind of comes across your path. You might even, honestly, you might not even really want to date this person, but you know, they break up with somebody and it's a very small town, everybody knows everybody, and they go against the grain and they start dating the girl that nobody likes. Right? Like, you might be the person that nobody likes, but the thing is that everybody's obsessed with you. It's not that they don't like you, they're obsessed with you, and they don't know how to take obsession. Most people don't know what obsession means because it's very fucking greasy. It's a greasy word. And to be honest, I like dating people that nobody likes, because I feel like people do like them, but they don't want to be the one person that admits it. Right? So you might be that like hidden gem that's kind of in your community that people are like, they secretly really want to date you, but nobody says anything because they stay in their shitty, basically mediocre lives. Okay. And they might just pop another kid out instead of get a divorce. And a lot of people do that. I mean, my own cousin, she went face to face with my sister, said her marriage was in trouble, and said, well, you know what? We'll either have a kid or get divorced. She had a kid, then got divorced. when she should have gotten divorced to begin with. Why she had a child, all she was trying to do was to prove to people that she could do it. She could be a mother, she could get married, and that she wasn't this 40-year-old barren woman that nobody wanted to be around. She had a child out of spite, which a lot of people do. And a lot of people, they choose to date somebody so then they'll make somebody else jealous. And then a kid is the result of that, right? Like, honestly, how disgusting and twisted this world really is. I'm just really thankful that we have our head on our shoulders and that there's a place where we can go to get our answers answered, right? Because people are so full of shit that you really have to watch your every move with every relationship, and you put your guard down for 1 second and somebody's going to come and eat you alive, right? And I watched, you know what I watched last night? I watched this movie called Let Me In. It's an older one. I think it's from like 2004 or 2005 or something. And she's a vampire. And she's a 12-year-old vampire, and she has to kill people, obviously, right? She gets random men to kill for her because she's a child. And she meets this little boy, well, not little, 12 years old, and he's getting bullied. And he's getting bullied bad. And she says to him, you have to fight back. And when I started working with the demonology, which we'll bring those cards up as well, the first thing that I was told when I unleashed that deck and I unleashed those demons, one thing they told me is I've got to start fighting for myself. And it's not that I'm going to go out and light torches on people's front lawns. I'm saying I have to defend myself and I have to stand up for myself. And if somebody comes and attacks me, guess what? It's not just going to be me going, okay, I'll just clear the energy now and I'll just banish them and let them go away. I'm now coming back with fire and demons at full force, right? I am sending back karma and clapback spells with demons attached to them. So people never come to my fucking head again with their bullshit, trying to get my money out of me, trying to get me to give them things, right? Because if you're schizophrenic, a lot of people are coming to you and they're asking you for things, and you might not even really know what you're doing or what you're giving away because this energy is so strong, and your energy is the thing that people are trying to feed off of. You're the source. You're the one that's got everything. And because the world is so greasy and so disgusting, I mean, it's either they suck you dry or they put you behind a fucking chem lab. And they test you every day on how it is that you have this energy and nobody else does, right? People won't leave you alone. They're never going to leave you alone. So until you decide, like, listen, I'm going to get this demon deck and I'm going to start fighting back. Like, you know how easy it is to summon a demon? I mean, and once you summon them, you own them. You get their crest, you put their crest on you, they're fucked. They have to do what you say. And all you really have to do is just, like, you know, give them some fruit. You can give them some of your power if you want, if you really don't want to piss them off, or you can just leave them unpaid if you really want and send them away, right? Like, so many of these demons, they are here as servants. They're here to do things, and they also are here to set the record straight. And they're also here to fight for people. They're also here to take sacrifice, but there's way more good from what I've read than bad. Right? So if the universe is like, yo, you got to stand up for yourself. You got to do something. You got to start fighting back. You got to put the fucking boxing gloves on. You got to learn how to fight, right? Then these energies might just continue to put you into a position where you're camouflaged and nobody can see what you're doing. Right? So the universe has definitely, like, set a date with you. Right? And they've set a plan up to be like, if you get here and you do this and you fulfill this contract, then we'll be there at the end of the road to fulfill ours. So if you feel like you're going to get driven forward and you don't really know how it's going to work, then call upon the demons, which I'm being told to do right now. So let us do this now. Okay, what are the demons that can step forward and help our friends defend themselves? Whoa, do you see how many? I'm telling you, these things are fucking awesome. Seven demons step forward. Lucky number 7. Oh, man. Okay, the first one that came down. Okay, I'm going to get my occult book here. Oh, there's my neighbor. See, I knew he wasn't home, and that guy was trying to take his fucking bike. I'm telling you. Like, if you see something and you're like, man, it just doesn't look right, say something. I'm telling you, because somebody could jack a car right in front of you, fucking kidnap somebody right in front of you. You have the fucking ability to stop it and say something. And if you don't, then this might push you back. Okay, so I'm just telling you right now, I'm just kind of warning you that if there's a crime that's about to be committed in front of you and you don't say anything, then they might deem you the coward that you continue to be and not push you forward. This kind of move forward is for the people who don't care if they get clipped for doing the right thing. Okay? Aries. Aries. All right, here we go. This is the first one coming up, all right? Get your pens and paper out so you don't forget, because you might like a demon and then you're going to forget which one it is. Okay, so this one is the 4 of Swords, okay? It teaches grammar, logic, can make one appear like a soldier. Okay, there it is, okay? He'll help you appear like a soldier. So if you call upon this deity, okay, if you call upon this spirit, he will help you transform your energy into soldiers. Remember what I said? We're trying to move the soldiers forward, okay? Believe it or not, you are one of many soldiers that even feel like you're not one, okay? You probably feel like you're not good enough to be one. You probably feel like you don't fight people off and you don't do the best that you could do. But guess what? The universe is saying the opposite, okay? So there he is. Next one we got here, the 4 of Cups, which I want to say spells, yeah, shacks. Okay. I thought that said shacks, but I wasn't quite sure. Okay, there's shacks. Coming up is the 4 of Cups, okay? Steals or fetches anything requested, including money and horses. Reveals secret things and brings questionable familiars. Okay, so if you call upon this deity, okay, I have a feeling that you can get them to do things for you. So say you needed something fetched, or somebody stole something from you and you need to get it back, okay, this deity will bring you what you need. So then you can travel forward and do miraculous things. Okay, this is what I'm getting. Ooh, Barbatos. This demon is fucking killer. He's a 10 of Pentacles. Understands the tongues of animals, uncovers treasures hidden by magicians, and reconciles friends and enemies. Okay, so I feel like if you're having a problem getting your energy forward, or you feel like this is the time where your energy is going to move forward, and you would like, I would say, some more tools. Okay, like understanding animals, like being able to communicate with your dog, being able to communicate with your snake, your tarantula, your familiars that are around you. Okay, being able to speak different tongue will also help you in battles, right? Because if somebody is around you and they're sending some type of hex towards you and it involves an animal, or it involves an insect or a swarm of things, right? Wouldn't you really love to communicate with that swarm? So then if it does get sent to your home, you can go, hey, yeah, there's a field across the street, and if you actually want food, you may want to go there. And then they go, oh, and totally miss you. Okay, there are a lot of demons that can help you because they're all connected to the earth, right? And what's connected to the earth? Animals, insects, everything that's alive. Okay? So, Oribus, okay, 3 of Pentacles. Answers questions about the past, present, and future. Gives dignities and grants the favor of friends and foes. He's a faithful servant. Okay, so if you are wanting to bring your energy forward, okay, this little guy will definitely help you decipher the code of the future, the messages that are being given to you, right? You could be getting a lot of signs and you don't really know how to read those signs. And this demon will help you open up the door to a lot of languages like Barbatos, but also more of I feel like he will connect with your language more, right? Because he is such a faithful servant, he will be with you. He will stay with you until the battle is won. Okay? Until the battle is won. 55, 3 of Pentacles, like he's the helper. He's going to really help you. Okay? So if you just want help, he's a good helping servant. Okay? Ooh, Vepr. Okay, this deity can kill people. Okay, so depending on the energy that you're going through right now, you would call Vepr in. Maybe Vepr is also helping you with this storm because there is remember the chain of events, the twist of events. Something got set in place, okay, for this event to transpire, and the event involves a storm of some kind, and that storm, okay, will help bring the clarity and the energy that you need with it. Okay, so if you feel like you're going to be defeated by somebody, or you feel like you have to let go of somebody, or you feel like somebody is messing with your energy and they're not going to allow you to move forward, if you call upon Vepr, it might be able to create the storm that you need to travel through to get to the other side so nobody hurts you. Right. I also do kind of get like a Gandalf feeling of in the Lord of the Rings. There's this part where Sam and Frodo are walking, and I think it's Solomon says, when the sun is covered, it means safe passage. And I'm getting this sense of, if she is here and she is working with you, okay, then watch the cloud coverage when you go and do things, because there could be places that you need to go and things like exactly where you need to be and what you have to do to drive this energy forward. And she might be creating this storm around you so then you can get this new job, new energy, new partner, new date, it's like a new date with the universe. It's this new unplanned event. Okay. And if you don't think that you're going to make it, if you don't think that the mail made it and you got the invitation, but for some reason you don't think you're going to make it, I would call her in to create the storm that allows for safe travel. Okay, because safe travel has a lot to do with this energy. Okay, now we've got Visago. Okay, he is the Tower. Okay, so there's also when I'm getting the twister effect as well. Promoter of discord, war, arguments, and falsehood. Gives generous responses. So if you call upon Visago, what I feel, this is a very powerful energy along with Vepr. You have to be very careful with these energies. These energies will require a sacrifice in order for them to do what they have to do, because it is very powerful energy. You have to be very careful where you send it. You have to be very careful how you call it in, and you have to be very careful on how it's driven forward. Because if you call an energy like this to create the tower that you need to move forward, anything could happen. They could take your home, they could take your car, they could take your job, and then you've got this lapse of time in between because what you're manifesting isn't there yet. So be careful with him. He's just trying to give you a warning that something could happen. He could make something happen for you prematurely that's already lined up to happen, but you just don't trust the energy. So make sure you're trusting the energies that you're working with, okay? Okay, so now we've got Seer, and that's the Six of Swords. Travels the world over an instant and brings anything anywhere. Gives the truth about thefts and hidden treasures. Willing to do anything one commands. Okay, so Seer would be one of those energies, again, that... okay, to work with him, I'm getting, you have to know how to astral project. Okay, because if he can go from one place to another, he can astral project. So if you want to be able to astral project, you have to know what you're doing in this form. Oh, massive tricksters. Okay, so but they're not pixies. That's the thing. And I find that demons, you have to, like I said, have the right language with them. And you have to know that you're not being used. And you have to know that the end result is something where you gain and they can't gain access to without your permission. Okay, there are a lot of things. And it's like when working with a demon, I mean, I see like a piece of string, you know, if you call them in, you have to string them in, you know, like you have to fasten them in. You have to make sure that you use the clearest language with them. No swear words. Okay. If you can speak Latin, even better. My sister's like, she's using a lot of Latin words because Latin is obviously the first language, right? So people can speak with it. Also, ruin stones and signs and symbols were actually is the first form of communication, right, is the signs and symbols. That's why when you write a demon's crest on you, or if you call a demon in and you crest it, they are yours. You have to make sure that you keep a hold of it and you don't let it go running around fucking causing mayhem all over the city. Right? These deities, these energies have to be contained, okay? If you feel they're immature energies. There are energies out there, like I'm getting Beelzebub. There are energies out there that are very powerful, right? Lucifer are very powerful. They don't need you commanding them. They will help you. They will work with you, but you do not have to tell them what to do. As long as you follow your path with what they're telling you to do and you're not breaking any codes against yourself, then you don't have to contain them. They know they're self-sufficient, okay? And that's why learning about them, actually, Irene, you know what, homie? You know that video that you sent me with the 72 demons? You know what we should do is you should tag it in the comments below. So Irene sent me this demon video, and I don't know if she's going to be able to find it, but I think I think I deleted it out of my email after I watched it. But it talks about the 72 demons that are in this deck. And then it also talks about the demons that they control, right? Because each demon actually has their own like demon posse. Okay, so working with the demons that have a lot of demons under them can be really beneficial because you know that they've got soldiers working with them as well. So they're doing things correct. But then there's also the demons that have absolutely nobody working underneath them. They work solely for humans and they only do what's best, which means they don't control anything, which means they wouldn't control you either. Right? So yeah, if you can find that video, Irene, then we will pin it in the bottom of this video. If not, there are tons of videos out there on YouTube that speak of demons, the deities, their houses, who controls them, and what they control. Legions, yeah, exactly, right? So, yeah, see if you can find that. If not, it's not a big deal. Like I said, there's tons of videos out there, but that one was just a good one because it was kind of like quick and simple, and this what the demon does, and then off it went, you know, like it didn't spend too much time on each demon. It was like a minute and a half on each demon. I was like, I wanted there to be more. I was like, you need to tell me more about these things. But anyways, So, okay, I can't ignore this song anymore. It keeps playing in my head. So clearly, I think it has something to do with this reading. But it's called Let Her Go by Passenger. I'm also getting the sense of like passenger. I also feel, remember I was saying in the passenger seat today, I closed my eyes. I do feel like the collective has a really hard time giving full trust to the universe and full trust to the things around you. And I think at this point in time, it's pretty safe to say that your energy and what you bring to the table is stronger than most, and it's you've taken on the energy that you need, right? Like you've obviously done your job, right? And that's why I'm like, man, the chain of events that led you to this point, you had to do so much to get here. Yeah, oh, that's okay. Honestly, I'm going to try to look for it too. But, you did so much to get here that you're the Legion. Like you're the one that goes down in history. You're the one that goes from bad to good, right? Or from good to bad, in a sense where you're not breaking the laws. You're just choosing to acknowledge that there's a light and a dark, and you can successfully work with the dark and get yourself where you need, so then the whole world doesn't see what you're doing, so then you can get there. So I do feel like maybe this twister, this storm is the gateway, is the portal, is how you're going to get camoed and covered, so then you can get to this next point. It's like people aren't supposed to see you, right? Or like, I don't know if you drive out of town for work, or you don't live in town, or like you can't get to where you're going. It's because you have to stay hidden, so then you can get this next move forward. And then it's like all systems go. Anybody and anybody can see you, because now you're at the level where it can't be reversed thanks to somebody else. It can only be reversed if you fuck it up. Because I think a lot of the collective who's had people against them have been controlling them, and controlling their fates, and controlling their destinies, and controlling where they're supposed to be right now, because of a hatred, right? And to do something and to react to something out of pure hate, right? Unless it's a group of pedophiles and you were molested, right? Or a bunch of, I don't really like murderers, and, you were attempted to be killed. Like, I mean, honestly, this level up, okay, is something that you've trained to do. And that's why you have the team working for you now that you do. You've got people that have your back, right? If you're watching me, then I've got your back. Like I will give the energy and tell the story how it is. If you're being fucked over, you could guarantee that it will come through this channel, right? Because I do not like when people are fucked with. I don't like when people are manipulated. I don't like when people are lied to. I don't like when people are fucked with. It does not leave a good taste in my stomach. And when I know that the person is innocent, even worse. Okay, it's one thing to be fucked with. If you're an awful person, you deserve it. But if you're a good person, you're being fucked with by people because people know that you're better than them, and they know how powerful you are, so they're taking your energy to control you. I do not like that. And that's why I do this channel, because I believe in a lot of things, but I disagree with a lot of things. And I don't do this out of spite. I do this out of love. And if somebody gets exposed from their hatred through my channel, and they want to not like me because of it, that's nice. I didn't do the crime. If you can't do the time, don't commit the crime. Like, I got the time to expose it because I haven't committed any crimes. So I don't have anything on my side going like, well, you're a little bit of a fucking, isn't that a little bit fucking cowardly, or like you're a little bit of a hypocrite, like didn't you do that? Like, no, I didn't do it. I didn't do what majority of these collective assholes did, right? Just like you didn't do it, so why are you being punished? When you can take your energy back and say, fuck them, fuck that, I'm not doing it. You can't force me to do this again. I'm going to move forward whether you like it or not, and then walk away. And that's where you got to burn bridges. You got to tell people to go fuck themselves. You got to give them the middle finger, right? Just to get them to fucking hate you so you can walk away. If they come running after you, that's their own prerogative. You're already on your fucking, next project. You're already far enough away that it doesn't matter if they're running after you. You're in a car, you're on a bike, you're in something faster than them. You just have to get away from them, right? Because as long as they're around you, is the more they can fuck with you. Right? So I think that this witch and warlock team, it's like you're either the witch or you're the warlock. You're either the magical magician or you're the powerful feminine, right? It's one or the other. And both of them tag team regardless to move forward, because the new moon merges into the full moon and the full moon lights up the sky. So then we're already there. Right? We have to move before the moon is full. This is a lot of energy. I think that's going to happen at night. Don't be surprised if your dreams get lit up. Okay. If you remember, if you're running in your dreams, or if you're driving in a car, you're trying to get away from something, that's you. That's Mars physically driving your energy forward. Okay. So I honestly feel like it's going to be a lot of visions of people panicking, getting in their cars and trying to go. Right? It's like, I remember this girl saying that before she had her daughter, she kept seeing this apocalypse hit, and that she had to get in the car with her husband and drive away because this asteroid was going to hit. And now I'm seeing that she stole energy to be with that husband. She stole energy to have that daughter and to buy that house she was being evacuated from. Now I feel like if you have a dream like that, it's because you're moving forward. She was having those dreams because her life was about to change, and her daughter was going to change everything. Her daughter is straight satanic. Her daughter is birthed from something so evil, so monstrous, that honestly it's probably going to be on our team, because she's the twisted feminine energy that thinks she's allowed to use men. She's a succubus. She just happened to suck a kid out of a guy's dick. That's all she did. She did it in New Orleans. She picked up a fucking dead soul. She picked up probably one of the most sinister souls I've ever seen, right? And she didn't even like the boyfriend at the time. Okay, so she used Pussalaya to build a family that created an apocalypse in her life. Okay, this energy drives into somebody's life to create an apocalypse around you, but you don't get hurt. You just elevate because your shit doesn't get destroyed, but the road around you opens up. And not a lot of people are going to have this access. Not a lot of people are going to see this energy moving the way that it is, because they're not advanced enough to see it. They have no idea what's going on, right? Which is most of the collective, right? No idea what's going on. And like, that was me for a long time. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. But now I'm really happy that I do, that I pay attention, that I'm not going like, okay, well, it's not right in front of our face, so how can I believe it? Well, it is in front of your face. You're just choosing not to see it, right? So, what a fucking awesome reading. Like, I gotta say, this was like, I'm going to say like top 10 of my readings. Like, for some reason, I feel like this energy is very important. Okay. And like I said, it's been raining cats and dogs here for like a couple of days, and we just don't seem to have the sun out. And when we do, it's just kind of peeping out and it's going away again. And I feel like this is the energy of everybody, of the collective moving, right? Is getting their shit together and packing up their moving trucks and getting going. And it could be a physical thing, right? There could be a lot of people moving, but at the same time, it could be more metaphorically speaking, where you suddenly just get on this train of life and you go. You move forward and you start doing the things that you never thought you could do. And you start going places that you never fucking anticipated you would go. And you start motivating yourself to change your life because you're already there. That's the thing. You're already a part of something bigger if you know it or not. So the fact that Mars and Aries are here just to let you know, like, hey, by the way, we're here for you and we're going to help you. That just is kind of like a confirmation that somebody needs just to know that they're not alone. Right? And clearly, no, you are not alone. Okay. You've got somebody pretty big rooting for you. All right. So, and if you need a demon, if you need a deity, you just call it in. All right. Be very careful with who you work with. Do your research like anybody should. It's like driving a car. It's like almost like summoning a demon is like buying a car. Okay. You have to do your research. Does it break down? Does it cause danger? Is it affordable? Okay. Like do your research and call in your help. If you feel like Aries with Mars in Taurus isn't enough energy to move you forward, okay, that's not a badass enough team for you, then call somebody else in. Just like I said, I can't stress enough to how careful you need to be and how much research you need to do, but fuck it. Honestly, in this day and age, it's like, what could go wrong? How many things have gone wrong at this point in your life and you didn't do anything to cause any of it? So who's to say that if you go and make an awesome decision for yourself about calling something in that will physically help you, how can you really say that that's not a smart move if you're physically trying something, anything to benefit yourself? I think that's pretty smart. Thank you for the caps locks, Renee. You know my eyesight is shit. It's because it's on my phone screen. Like it's on my screen right here. So now that I put this thing here, I got to read through it. And it's so small. What's it going to cost? Who knows? It could cost you a banana loaf to work with a deity. Honestly, it could cost you nothing. It could cost you a fucking heart-shaped rock. Really? Choice is yours. Woo! So I'm going to go now. This is my second video, and I'm getting really dry. So it's hurting to speak. And I'm sorry about the sound quality. I bet you my microphones are here now. They said they were going to get delivered before like 7 o'clock or something. And watch, they're probably here. I'm going to go get them tomorrow, I think. I don't think I'm going to leave the house again today. So I'll have my microphones here so that the live sound better. I really apologize if this is like crackly. Like sometimes these lives get really crackly. That's why I need the fucking microphone that's not working now. So anyways, yeah. Watch for that. I should be getting that like tomorrow or the next day. And you know, thank you for everything. All right. And I hope this benefits somebody. I hope this resonated with somebody. And if it doesn't, or if parts of it did, make sure you leave the rest for your friendly neighborhood subscriber. Okay. If you want personal readings, whitneymoonshine@gmail.com. If not, just enjoy the channel and everything we do for the channel. It's all about the channel, getting that big, beautiful message out like usual. So, yeah, I think that's all I want to say. No more highlights. I'll be back tomorrow, going live, and we'll be doing a pre-recording for summoning. So watch out for that tomorrow. And thanks for everybody for being a part of this chat. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you have a great night. Love you too, Irene. Thank you to my moderators. I don't know if Lovin' It is still here, but thank you most importantly to Irene for kicking ass. Thank you for everybody for being a part. Anybody that's new here, we welcome you. Okay. With open arms. And yeah, email whitneymoonshine@gmail.com. All right. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one.